paying them at least $10 every time you'd stop a paying customer from carrying on a bag, your gate agents to get paid for it. Is that still happening?
We do offer incentives and commissions, to stop people who didn't pay, not who paid, who didn't pay.
No, you are paying your gate agents, so it sounds like you're still doing it. You're still paying them money to harass customers from bringing bags onto the airline by saying it's too big or it doesn't fit in a little box or whatever the case may be. You're still doing it. That's your testimony today? Why?
I don't know that I would describe it that way, but we do provide incentives.
Why would you pay your own employees to harass your customers? Why is this good business practice?
Unbundling enables us to offer low fares. And the lower fares, many people could not afford to fly if they didn't have the lower fare option. But in order for the system to work, everyone has to be treated fairly. And when people then, a small percentage.
Okay, we need to pause right there, because what you just watched is real. That is a United States senator sitting across from the CEO of a major American airline, saying out loud what every single one of us has thought every time we've been stopped at a gate and forced to hand over money we didn't budget for. Before we get into the full video, I want to say this. I don't care what your politics are. Left, right, center, it doesn't matter. This is not a political issue. This is a consumer issue. This is a people issue. And when someone in power actually uses that power to go to bat for ordinary people who are just trying to get on a plane with their bag, that deserves attention. Frontier Airlines made $40 million from bag fees while paying their own employees to stop customers from carrying bags on. Let that sink in. We're going to watch the full clip, and then I'll break down everything, because there is a lot to unpack. If you've ever flown a budget airline and felt like you were being nickel and dimed, this video is for you. Hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, because you're going to want to stick around for this one.
Senator Hawley.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to all the witnesses for being here. Mr. Biffle, if I could just start with you. About 9 months ago, your chief commercial officer testified to me that Frontier pays its gate agents bounties to stop paying customers from carrying bags onto the plane. Is this still happening?
Not at the rate it was. We changed
Well, wait. What does that mean? So are you still paying your gate agents to stop your customers from carrying bags on? You were paying them at least $10 every time you'd stop a paying customer from carrying on a bag, your gate agents to get paid for it. Is that still happening?
We do offer incentives and commissions, to stop people who didn't pay, not who paid, who didn't pay.
No, you are paying your gate agents, so it sounds like you're still doing it. You're still paying them money to harass customers from bringing bags onto the airline by saying it's too big or it doesn't fit in a little box or whatever the case may be. You're still doing it. That's your testimony today? Why?
I don't know that I would describe it that way, but we do provide incentives.
Why would you pay your own employees to harass your customers? Why is this good business practice?
Unbundling enables us to offer low fares. And the lower fares, many people could not afford to fly if they didn't have the lower fare option. But in order for the system to work, everyone has to be treated fairly. And when people then, a small percentage.
Wait a minute. Why are you paying your agents? This is going to be the only business in the world I have heard of that pays your people to harass your own customers. These are customers who have purchased a ticket. They have a carry-on bag, and you're paying your people at the gate to stop them and say, your bag is not quite right. It doesn't fit in this. We heard testimony. The Permanent Select Committee in this Senate has done a thorough investigation of this. We heard testimony from numerous of your customers saying they were wrongly stopped and harassed. There's no appeals process. There's nothing. You're making gobs of money on it. You generated $40 million in fees on this, according to your own data. That's amazing. And you're still doing it. I mean, in what world is this defensible?
It's fair.
Is fair to whom?
Well, you continue to insinuate that they paid for their bag, and they did not pay
They
for their bag.
paid for a ticket that allows them to have a carry-on bag, and you're paying your agents to harass them to stop them from carrying it on. You know, only other airline I know of, Spirit, was doing this, and they stopped because they said it was a terrible experience for the customers. Your customers hate it. This is one of the reasons they hate to fly. I can't believe you're still doing it. How much money have you made on it this year so far?
Considerably less, if you'll let me speak. What we did is we introduced the new frontier. We have very simple branded choices, complete transparency.
Wait a minute. How much, first of all, you're not a victim here, Mr. Biffle, okay? You are making billions of dollars, and you're treating your customers appallingly badly. And the fact that you are still paying your employees to harass your own customers, I think, frankly, is unconscionable. I said this 9 months ago. I thought for sure it would have stopped by now, but I can't believe you're still doing it. So I don't feel sorry for you one little bit. In fact, I think you should apologize right now to all of your customers for what you're doing to them. And I think you should turn around and give them back the money that you've taken by forcing them to surrender their bags and pay extra fees after they've already paid a price. I mean, I don't get it. You seem to be totally baffled by this. You think that this is just fine.
I'm not baffled. I think you're insinuating that they paid for a bag that they didn't pay for.
No, I'm insinuating. I'm not insinuating anything. I'm accusing you, actually, of doing something that I think is wrong, of incentivizing your own employees to treat your customers badly. And the money you're making on it is astounding, just astounding. $40 million in fees. 62% of your revenues come from these ancillary fees, of which these additional baggage fees are part of it. And you just seem to see nothing wrong with this. I mean, do you not understand this is why people hate to fly? They hate that they are treated terribly when they go to the airport by airlines, and you're paying your own people to do it. Do you want to say anything to your customers or to the flying public?
I think we've made huge progress in this area this year. We have introduced, as I started to say, we've introduced an economy product. That product is for $20 to $30, gives you free change fees, free seat assignment, carry-on bag. The persons that you're discussing are the people who bought a basic product, not that product, and they didn't pay for it.
Will you commit to quit giving incentives to your employees to stop customers and take their bags away? Will you stop that? Your other airlines have done it, your competitor airlines, your peer airlines. Will you commit here today to stop paying your employees to harass customers?
Can I ask a question?
So, I'd like an answer to mine first.
We will look at that, but I don't...
That doesn't sound like a yes or a no. Can you just say, yes, we will stop paying our gate agents to harass our own customers over their bags?
We are not harassing customers.
Yes, you are, and I invite you to read the report by the Permanent Select Committee of this body that investigated this and took testimony from your customers. Indeed, we took testimony from your own executives on this. This is a reality. Or alternatively, you could go out to DCA here and go and ask some of your customers how they feel about it. I know what they'll tell you. They'll tell you what they told us. They hate it. They feel badly treated. They feel like they're treated like cattle. And you're making tens of millions of dollars off of it. And I just think that's wrong. I just think it's ridiculous. I've got a lot more questions for you, but I know other people want to ask questions.
Thank you.
Where do I even begin? Shout out to Senator Hawley, because that was one of the most focused and devastating lines of questioning I have seen in a long time. He came in prepared. He had the numbers, he had the receipts, he had the prior testimony from 9 months ago, and he did not let Mr. Biffle off the hook once. That is exactly what those hearings are supposed to look like. Now let's talk about Biffle, because I genuinely don't know how you sit in front of a Senate committee, on camera, in front of the whole country, and defend this with a straight face. His argument is basically this. We offer low fares. Unbundling is how we do it. People who want to carry on should pay for it. And look, on paper, I get it. Budget airlines operate on thin margins, and unbundling is a real business model. But here is where it falls apart completely. You are not just charging for bags. You are paying your employees a financial incentive to make sure customers don't get away with carrying one on. That is not a pricing model, that is a bounty system. Those are two very different things. And the fact that Biffle either couldn't or wouldn't see that distinction is honestly baffling. Hawley made a point that I think is critical. Spirit Airlines was doing the same thing, and they stopped. Spirit, the airline that has basically become a cultural punchline, looked at this practice and said this is too far. This is a terrible experience for our customers. If Spirit draws a line somewhere, that really should tell you something. Then there is the money. $40 million in bag fees from this one practice alone. 62% of Frontier's total revenue comes from ancillary fees. Fees by themselves are not illegal or even necessarily wrong. But when you combine that with a bounty system that makes your employees adversarial toward the customers they are supposed to be serving, that is where it crosses a line. The moment that really got me was when Hawley asked Biffle point blank, "Will you commit today to stopping this?" Simple yes or no. And the answer he got was, "We will look at that. We will look at that." That is not an answer. That is a man protecting a $40 million revenue stream and hoping nobody notices. Hawley caught it straight away. That doesn't sound like a yes or a no. Because it wasn't. What I respect most about Hawley's approach is that he wasn't yelling or grandstanding. He was calm but relentless. Every time Biffle tried to reframe it or pivot to something else, Hawley brought it straight back to the same point. You are paying your people to treat your customers badly. He never let go of that, and that takes real conviction. Because at the end of the day, this is simple. When you buy a plane ticket, you should be able to trust that the airline is not actively working against you, that their employees are not being financially rewarded to find reasons to take more money out of your pocket. That is a basic expectation, and Frontier, by their own admission, is not meeting it. In this room, on this day, fighting for this issue, Hawley was exactly what a senator is supposed to be. He was the voice of every person who has ever been stopped at a gate, embarrassed in front of a queue of people, and forced to hand over money they didn't plan to spend, with no appeals process and nobody to complain to. That's my take. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had an experience like this with a budget airline. Have you ever been stopped at the gate and felt like you were being scammed? I genuinely want to hear it. Like the video if you think what Frontier is doing is wrong. Subscribe if you want more breakdowns like this, and I'll see you in the next one.